They won't tell you this in school. They won't hand it to you in a diploma. You won't find it scrolling your feed or waiting for the perfect moment. But if you listen, really listen, you'll hear it echoing in the lives of the greats. The truth is this: success is not luck. It's not talent. It's not a moment. It's a mindset. It begins in the mind where no one else sees. It begins in silence, in solitude, in the still moments where you choose to believe in something bigger than your circumstances. You don't wait for purpose. You build it. You don't wait for clarity. You decide it. Edison didn't invent the light bulb because he was lucky. He did it because he refused to quit. 10,000 times the world said, "It's impossible." And 10,000 times he said, "I've just found one more way it won't work." That's not persistence. That's belief wearing work boots. So ask yourself, do you think like success, or do you think like someone hoping for it? There is a difference. Success doesn't hope. It plans. It prepares. It trains the mind to see what others overlook. Where most people see risk, it sees reward. Where others fear the unknown, it builds roads. The mind is the original battlefield. What you think consistently, you become. Your outer world is just the billboard of your inner world. And if you plant doubt, hesitation, fear, you will reap smallness, excuses, and regret. But if you plant boldness, faith, vision, you will reap a harvest so rich, your future self won't recognize you. The great secret, the one I called the strangest secret, is simply this: we become what we think about. It is both a truth and a warning, because it works either way. Think scarcity, and your life will shrink to fit it. Think abundance, and your life will stretch to meet it. So think like success. Not once, not sometimes, not when things feel good, every day, on purpose. With purpose, the mind is a muscle, and your thoughts are its training. You don't get strong by lifting once. You get strong by lifting again and again, especially when it burns. And purpose. Purpose is movement with direction. It's not just waking up and grinding. It's knowing why you grind. It's motion guided by meaning. Walt Disney wasn't just a dreamer. He was a visionary with motion. He was bankrupt, rejected, mocked, but his mind held the blueprint and his purpose kept moving. He thought like success, even when success wasn't showing up yet. That's the test. Can you move like purpose before the world claps? Can you walk with conviction before the doors open? Can you keep showing up while everyone else waits for a sign? Because the sign is you. People wait for permission, they wait for an opportunity. But the people who build legacy, the ones whose names echo through history, they don't wait. They work, they move, they create. Andrew Carnegie started in a one-room cottage, sleeping on a pallet. But he imagined more. He read books while others gossiped. He took notes while others complained. He trained his mind to rise while the world expected him to settle. He moved like purpose in a world built to keep him poor. You can do the same. But not until you stop treating your mind like a storage unit for fear and start using it as a command center for greatness. You must decide. Decide that your vision matters more than your comfort, that your dreams matter more than opinions, that your future matters more than your past. Success is not comfortable. It was never meant to be. The moment you step into clarity, the distractions will multiply. The second you choose direction, the storms will rise. And that's the point. Because discipline is born in discomfort. Purpose is clarified in pressure. Vision is forged in the fire of resistance. When Henry Ford imagined a car for every American, the world laughed. They said he was a fool, that horses were the future, that common people would never afford such machines. But he didn't build based on their doubts. He built based on what he saw in his mind. He thought like success. He moved like purpose. And now, his dream paved the roads we drive on. So stop waiting for the right time. Stop bowing to the fear of failure. Stop asking small minds to validate a big calling. You were born to build, born to rise, born to choose a path that doesn't apologize for wanting more, not more things, more impact, more alignment, more mastery. Because success is not about what you get. It's about who you become, and becoming starts with thinking, then moves into being, then ends in doing. Think like success, move like purpose. Every day, every moment, every breath. until the world has no choice but to watch you become what they said was impossible. This is the rhythm of mastery, and you are the conductor. But understand this. Thinking like success means mastering your focus in a world built for distraction. It means standing still in your mind when the storm outside is raging. It means silencing the noise, so the voice within can be heard. This world is addicted to urgency, but urgency is not the same as purpose. Most people live in reaction, not intention. They move fast, but go nowhere, loud but hollow, busy but aimless. To move like purpose, you must train yourself to slow down and aim first, not with hesitation, but with clarity. The archer does not release the arrow without locking in on the target. The architect doesn't build before laying the blueprint. So ask yourself, what are you aiming for? What are you building? If you don't know, stop, sit, think, not just with logic, but with vision. Because a ship without a destination may feel like it's moving, but it's drifting, and drifting never leads to destiny. Greatness requires alignment, and alignment starts with values. What do you stand for when no one is watching? What guides your choices when no one's clapping? What fuels your fire when there's no spotlight? Your values are your compass. They determine the direction of your life long before opportunity knocks. Because when it does knock, it doesn't ask if you're ready. It shows up and expects a response. And if you haven't trained yourself to move with purpose, you'll hesitate. You'll question. You'll shrink. But if your mind has been sculpted like a weapon of clarity, if your spirit is anchored in conviction, you won't need to think twice. You'll answer. You'll rise. You'll become, because you already are. Not someday, not maybe, but now. Every thought is a brick. Every decision, a beam. You are building your cathedral of success, one invisible action at a time, and it's not for applause. It's for alignment. It's for legacy. It's because your name means something, because your life matters, because the world changes when just one person decides to live with intention. Think like success, move like purpose, and never again let a day pass that doesn't feel like destiny in motion. So now ask yourself, not later, not tomorrow, what would it look like if I lived this day like it mattered? If every step I took reflected the future I said I wanted, that's not fantasy. That's what the greats did. Lincoln carried the weight of a nation not because he was perfect, but because he refused to let the moment define the man. He was forged through failure, heartbreak, and internal storms that would have crushed most. But his mind was made. His values were set. His steps were guided by an immovable purpose. So what guides you? What shapes your vision when comfort calls louder than conviction? What keeps you steady when progress feels invisible? This is your call. This is your line in the sand. No more waiting. No more wishing. No more wandering. Think like success. Move like purpose. The rest of your life is waiting for this version of you to show up. Show up boldly. Show up relentlessly. Show up on fire with vision. Because one day someone will tell the story of your life. Make sure it's a story worth telling. Make sure it begins with the decision you made today to think like success, to move like purpose, and to never look back.
If this message stirred something in you, don't just feel inspired, act inspired. Pause right now and ask yourself, what's one decision I can make today that aligns with the future I want? Write it down. Speak it out. Move on it. Comment below with, I'm choosing to think like success and move like purpose. Let the world know you're showing up different. Subscribe for more purpose-driven fire. Share this video with someone who's ready to stop waiting and start becoming. Like this, if you are done playing small, remember, success is not someday. It's a decision. And that decision starts now.